Love playing Standard on Magic Online? Check out Academy's Standard Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds for Standard Singles.
Hello everybody, Planet Walls here. We're back for round 4 against Fairy Bachhire. That might be his name, or it might be something else. I don't know. I do know that the word Bach means something very nasty in Turkish, but I'm not sure what it is, actually. I could play this Hanakami in this hand, but I really can't afford to keep this black hand with only one forest, so we're going to mull this. Did I just click no? Oh. I thought to myself, like, do I want to keep this? No. Alright, so we're keeping this one lander. Let's knock it out. This has been as far as gameplay decision-making goes, I think it's been a mediocre time today. I think I could have taken that one match against Slivers earlier with a red-green list. I failed to do so because I think of a poor play decision. I could have just played a little bit more defensively around a Virulent Sliver, but my time was so low. That's really not what we needed. Keeping a one-lander on the play was not my goal. If we're testing out this deck, I should have mulliganed. So I'll draw 6 cards at the end and see what a fake mulligan hand would have looked like. And we can just sort of... That's not always the best way to do it. It's not a perfect test. Look what these little, like, roach dudes are doing there. Okay, we drew another forest. That's better than nothing. Let's see if we get Diabolic Edict here. We have enough crappy guys in our deck, like things like this, that it actually makes mono black kind of hard, though their Crypt Rats are probably insane. Okay, Victim of Night, that's fine. I'm not exactly sure how that Spitting Flowers can be a Victim of Night, but that's alright. Playing against Spot Removal deck, I'm not actually sure if it's too bad to keep a one-land hand compared to other matchups when they could out-tempo you. Because essentially we're just trying to like out-removal him with dudes that are effective enough before he can corrupt us 500 million times. At least that's what I expect him to be attempting to do. What is this? Great. What do I want to discard? I think it's going to be forever before this card comes down and I can Elder Pine it back. So I'm going to toss that. Plus, these get better as I discard more cards. The art on this kind of looks pretty badass, but it looks like it shouldn't just be a 2-1. Looks like it should be like a 4-3 or something. Looks totally Nazgul-ish, so yeah. Alright, well that's not bad. I can't complain about that. We're going to get in here with this guy. Question is, do I want to wait and play this next Dripping Tongue? I don't think I do. I think I play this one now. And I pass. Now the question is, if he makes me discard another card, what do I discard? I probably do discard the Elder Pine. This situation, if I can manage it for a little bit, creates 4 tokens, which, until he hits a Crypt Rats, shouldn't be that big of a deal for me. Should be fine. I would prefer him to not make me discard this turn. What was that? Sign in Blood? Okay. That's okay. It's like he's doing work for us. It's like Thoughtcast, but like a million times worse. Okay, he's back up to 7 cards. That's no good. We certainly don't have enough pressure on him for that to be something he worries about. In fact, I would definitely attack if I were him. Plus our Hirobi's Whispers in this matchup. I like how I discarded a Wicked Akuba now that I'm thinking about he's playing mono black, so these are like the worst cards ever. Alright. So maybe we'll just use these to make a million Dripping Tongues at the same time. We'll have to splice them. Oh, good. Okay, so Hirobi's Whisper is terrible. We can't play Wicked Akuba this turn anyway. We also can't play these, but this is definitely a bad situation to be in. So we get in there with these guys, and we'll drop our Elder Pine. This turn, we haven't been punished, but we will be punished because our deck is bad. So Hirobi's Whisper being terrible against Mono Black, that's something worth noting. God, I'm talking so fast. I'm not even on any caffeine right now. Look at this guy. I cannot figure... Somebody tell me how the art works here. It looks like a giant snake head has a tongue that opens out of its chest, and then its mouth is a head that shoots out beetles, and then there are other tiny plants around it. Okay. Tell you what, we're never going to need this, but I guess we'll see it again next turn. Alright. Look at this. This art is worse than Elder Pine. Elder Pine is actually awesome. Look at... What the fuck just happened? Soul Shift? Alright, I'll take Wicked Akuba back, I guess. Or actually, we'll take Hanakami back, so we can Kodama's Might a couple times. That's okay. It's unfortunate I don't get to use the Elder Pine to disrupt the Chittering Rats. That's actually interesting, because you can do that. So now we do see our Hirobi's Whisper again. Not the end of the world. We can't attack with both these guys, though, unless we want to make more dudes, and I don't think we want to. We could just kill his guy with a Kodama's Might and then play the Hanakami. Doesn't sound that horrible, I guess. It sounds pretty horrible, but could be worse. All right. It's not gonna block, right? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So we'll drop this buddy. Pass the turn. Cool. All right. There we go. I cannot wait to get rid of this. Like all the art in that set. Look at this though. Look, there are like these green rats back here in the neck region, and he looks terrible. He's got duck feet. And then look up there. Look in the top right. There's like this ghost rat. This is one of the worst arts. I didn't even know this. Tom Vennerstrand. We're gonna have to talk about this. We're gonna have to talk about it later. So I'm totally getting out card advantaged, especially when my splice card advantage feature is one where I'm only dealing with kill a non-black creature cards. All right. So one way we can still win this game is with some serious Zubera tech. What do I mean by Zubera tech? Do we want to kill this? No, I think we need to push through damage. We might be able to use these. If we draw a swamp, we can kill a blocked creature to cast 2 Kodama's Mites, which might be able to allow us to push through. It's not very exciting, admittedly. Okay, well, we'll just... Joke's on him. These cards are terrible. Alright. Okay. So Wicked Akuba, that's pretty poor right now. I think we have to keep the pressure on, so we're going to get in with all these guys. Alright, there we go. That's fine. What's happening? Okay, there we go. What's happening? What's happening? It's the inevitable question of Magic Online. Okay, we killed this guy, so we spent, like... Basically, that card was extremely effective for him. Alright, he's at 7. Not the best. He's got 5 cards in hand. That's where I'm really sort of scared, but I'm glad that this Hirobi's Whisper is in my hand and will be eaten by his discard. I just can't get over this card. Like, look at the art that's on the board here. We've got, like, Nazguls. I'm going to go to 6, so if he has a Corrupt, I lose. But, you know, these are the games we play. Games people play. Right or wrong, just can't stop it. Nice, he doesn't have it. Okay. So... yeah. He just went down another lot. Oh. I don't know, I just can't stop it. Sometimes I do. Do I crack the Hanakami for a Kodama's Might here? I don't think I can do that. No, I need it as a blocker now. Okay, so now we pass the turn, we go into blocking mode. I think he just attacks with his Liliana Spit. Gray Merchant Man. Look at this guy. This is the best art on the table. How sad is that? Alright. GG. That game was pathetic. We kept a 1-lander on the play on accident, but these Hirobi's Whispers are pretty bad. You'd only want to kill your own guys with them, and you don't normally want to do that. So let's get Death Denied in there. If he kills all my guys, Devouring Greed is pretty bad. Sink into Takanuma is potentially playable. It's like a one-of. Maybe I want to move the Ashen Skins in, because they punish him for killing my guys. It's not like the best card, but... I actually like the way the deck's set up in general. Kodama's Might is now a bit worse. Yeah, it's actually quite a lot worse without the Hirobi's Whispers being good, but the more you remove, the worse they all are. So like the question is, do I just cut these and not play a Kodama's Might game? I think I have to play them, just because pushing through extra damage is important. And having 2 of them is 6. So if you have 2 of them, they're each like a giant growth. If you have 3 of them in your hand, you get a lot more splice potential, because you can splice 2 cards to the same card. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not excellent, but we at least have this play. I have a lot of swamps in this deck. I'm surprised that I haven't been seeing more of them. That's okay. We lead with this, though, in case we draw another one. I've got a couple turns to draw a swamp. Alright, so... yeah, I figured something like that would come down. That's not the end of the world for us. That's unfortunate. We are playing more swamps than we are forests by 1 or 2. We at least have a next turn play. This card is not horrible with a neg counter on it, at least. It still does what it needs to do. It turns into Taunting Elf with a cat head and a man head next to the cat head. Yeah, I swear, the art on... I'm actually astounded. Okay, so are these guys both going to trade? Come on, do it, man. What the hell is this? You can do it at any time, so... Fine. Alright. We've got a Destinide, so that's going to be fine. Now let's get this out of here. I feel pretty good about the decision I just made because he could have just blocked Phantom Tiger with his guys. Then again, he could just, like, Geth's Verdict this. Alright. So, I'm playing a Destinide long game plan. Not drawing a Swamp there was kind of bad. This is a fine trade to make here, though. Like, this guy is, like, kind of shitty card advantage, I guess. If he attacks with this guy and I block, it's essentially the same thing as him sacrificing it to put a neg counter on my guy. So I just block, because he can do that at any point. So I'd rather not let him through for damage. He's just giving me an option to make a mistake. Yeah, he decided not to do that. So that's fine. Makes sense. Drawing that is actually pretty good right here. I'm going to attack. And we might be able to force through 7, which isn't so bad. Yeah, and I think I do that. Cast and splice additional spells, sure. This is so complicated the way you have to do it, like reveal cards. Back in the day, this was the PTQ I actually performed reasonably in. Alright, fine. So we spent 1 card to pump our guy by 4. That's pretty cool. Okay. And then the Destinide can do it again. We also could have waited till we had another Swamp and spliced both of them to a Destinide for 0. Yeah, we're going to pitch a Wicked Akuba again. We can get it back with Destinide, and it's not doing anything in our hand right now. Alright. 3, that's fine. I will attack into his flyer. I am okay with that. Hanakami is pretty good right here, actually. It can allow us to deal quite a bit of damage. I would have rather seen a Swamp this turn, but that's not so bad. Yeah, there we go. I knew you were going to do it. Boo! Alright. Oh, Undying. Screw you. Okay. I don't have any plays in response to that, so he's going to make me discard again? I gotta pitch another Wicked Akuba. Again, same thing going on. Man. His deck is just, let's be honest, just better than ours. That's like exactly how I feel here. This is a pretty cool combo, though. You can cast this, get a Hanakami back, then use it, sack it for the Destinide. Like, that's a powerful interaction. It's just we need a control shell that can handle it. And you almost want blue, but then you're playing Bug and Pauper, and that's just not feasible as far as I understand it. This is going to be a ton of life switch. Screw Gray Merchant. Ugh. God, gross. Okay, so this is something I learned. In a deck where you're playing to push through enough damage and then you want to finish off with a powerful spell, that even if it resolves, it would be good if they didn't have cards that swung the game so extensively like that. That is fine. Give me a Kodama's Might. And so that's just insane. And it means that a deck like this probably doesn't fit the format very well right now as long as Mono Black with Gray Merchant is in it. What if this guy got banned? That would be really funny. This 2-4 for 5. The life swing is just too much. Alright, so we go to 6. Not so surprising. This is something I would have wanted a while ago. So I have to stay back and block here. I'd lose. There's so many things I wish I could do. I'm playing 23 lands. That seems legitimate in this deck. I don't think I want to play more. Maybe you have to play like a control-ish variant. Like, someone figure this out. How do you build this deck right? Maybe it's not good enough in Pauper right now, but this still isn't an optimal build. Alright, so He's just going to go for a 2-turn swing in the air? No, I didn't think so. All right. That's fine. I think what I have to do to stay in the game is to... well, I'm not going to be able to kill that. So I think I just lose because I have no way to interact with it. It's like maybe we need like, was it wing puncture or whatever? And maybe that's the way to go. Because racing this deck doesn't seem feasible. I think I had a much better shot against slivers. I mean, granted, we went 0-4, but this is a learning experience. So that's the point here. I think we're just going to do it this way. Could pump this when my guy dies anyway, so that's stupid, because that's how the phantom creatures work. You prevent it, but you remove a counter. Yeah, so let's do it like that. Let's go to 1. He might just kill me with like a Sign in Blood here. That would be my guess. Oh, that's extra special. All right. So we'll cast and splice additional spells. Let's do 0. Pay this. I want to splice this and pump that guy. And I want to splice this and pump that guy. And there we go. So let's die a lot. GG's. GG's. Well, thanks, guys, for watching. This was sort of unimpressive, obviously, but I learned some things. I don't think a deck like this is good enough in the format right now, very obviously. But why? So one of the things I said is that, like, Gray Merchant and other things in Mono Black, even though this deck has tools to deal with some of their cards, they just create such a life swing that you can't hope to win with a powerful spell like this. And I never played one of the Devouring spells in these matches. You have to take it on trust in me, which I'm not sure how much that's worth, that this can actually do some good. Like, they lose 2 life plus 2 life for each spirit you sacrifice. That's a lot of damage. It can be like a 10 life swing, but if they've already done that with a Gray Merchant, this is just worse. This card is interesting in a deck like this, and I think opens up possibilities, especially as Born of the Gods comes out. We'll have more options for Pauper legal spirits, and I think we should look into those. By we, I mean me. So maybe the way to play it is to do a more Soul Shift bestow plan. Not sure about that, though. Hirobi's Whisper is a strong spell, but it's extra slow and you have to have cards in your graveyard, and it can't beat a deck with Gray Merchant. So now let's think about other decks in the format. Affinity, I think I have a shot against that deck. I took a game earlier. The Slivers deck, I think if I recall, that's tier 2, but it seemed like I could beat it if I changed this deck enough to be able to do so. This card is probably too mediocre, but this card is really interesting. So this is the sort of stuff I learned. I learned that Hanakami and Death Denied are a pretty powerful interaction in this format, but I don't know how to use it. I know that Wear Away is actually a really interesting card against Affinity because it can be multiple like artifact kills, which is hard to pull off in this format, especially in green. So I learned that. This card sucks, but I know the Dripping Tongue can stall the board forever, especially with other Zuberas. And Kodama's Might has the potential to deal a lot of damage out of nowhere and change combat dramatically, and I'm not sure I played with it optimally. So this deck actually has a lot of decisions to make in it compared to some Pauper decks I've seen. Not all. I'm not saying the format is easy, but there are things to learn from it still. Elder Pine is an interesting card. It gets you lands. Like, basically, I really like a lot of these cards, and I think that they're interesting. Shinnin is really powerful, too. It's a matter of fitting them together and seeing if the format is appropriate for it. I'm not sure it is now. If there were a way to build a red, green, black version, that's what I would really like. You could run Devouring Greed instead of Devouring Rage. You could play the red Baku, maybe multiple Zuberas if you wanted to. Wicked Akuba is probably too weak for this format. I'm not sure what you'd play. Phantom Tiger just might not be interesting enough. But then you can play Lava Spike, Kodama's Might, and Glacial Ray, which are more interesting, along with Baleful Eidolon. So I might look into this again sometime. For now, I think I'm done with it. So thank you for watching Playing the Unplayable. I learned some things, even though I lost 8 tickets, but so be it. Paying $8 for knowledge is way better than the Sophist would have charged, I imagine. I don't know how many, like, ancient drachma or whatever they... What I'm trying to say is I don't know how the ancient Greek economy worked. So anyway, I will see you guys next time for Playing the Unplayable, and thank you for watching.